I got a real serious question for you here. Are you ready to enter Spitewood?
Oh no, is this an Underworlds thing?
Hey, you knew. You knew.
Yeah,
you recognized the name.
It usually has a dumb name like that. Oh my god, what was it's like two words combined. It's like Shadespire, like was the other one like Gallow Dark?
Yeah, you take two words and you mash them together.
Yeah,
or whatever.
right,
It's like one of those name generators. They probably use
Dire Chasm.
It's a dire chasm.
Spitewood. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
sure.
That's the setting. That's the setting that this
I
game
mean,
is
sure. I saw they're really trying with this one.
Are they? Would you say they're really trying?
Well, they have one gimmick. They're trying a
Okay.
big gimmick, and they're sneaking in Chaos Dwarves, sneaking in They're trying to capitalize on the guy who just bought his army.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I don't have those 5 guys though.
That is really that's very desperate.
That's
like,
very
desperate. But I mean, I feel like these Kurnothi guys have been in upset before. They look identical to the other ones.
They continue their tradition of making cool Sylvaneth adjacent models.
That aren't in the game or whatever.
And they've done this like 4 times.
Why don't we have these models?
They're
in
like,
the game?
no, we can't give them to you in full units. God forbid that. Yeah, because there's no one that would want Wood Elves in Age of Sigmar like proper.
Yeah, I mean, and they're definitely continuing this long tradition of having like obviously great miniatures with cool poses.
Sure.
The minis have never been the problem with Shadespire.
They usually have like a pretty cool war scroll in AOS.
Yeah. And the question, I guess, today is like, nobody cares though.
Nobody cares. Definitely not, again, around here.
You just critical shotted one guy or whatever that like.
We have to continue our whole like we're like the negative people.
No.
We're simultaneously
we're the big shills.
We're like GW stands shills, but then when we talk bad about their products,
we're negative.
We're just too negative.
We're very negative. Yeah.
I mean, that's a baseline. We're just always negative. Yeah.
I'd say that kind of puts you in a very neutral place. Probably.
People,
we're very neutral here.
So disclaimer: we're shop owners. So if a product doesn't make us money, we don't like it. It's really.
Well, Jay, that's very cynical.
I gotta feed my kids, man. I got kids to feed, literally.
That's very cynical.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I think that context is always sometimes people that are watching our videos, because like we're not always reminding that context every time, even though we're sitting in a hobby store.
Yeah.
And we're
green screen.
If they're new, if you're new to like coming and watching the video, which a lot of people are when they pick up our videos, I understand why they're like, oh, these guys are just like trash talking, or they're like they only care about the money or whatever. Yes, and it's like
true.
That's kind of Jay's like, yes, I acknowledge this. But that is the context in which we're operating this channel in, and we're operating our business in, right? So we always try to remind people of that context. But so I don't know. To me, this edition of Underworlds, I keep calling it Shadespire, is, I guess my first reaction was sort of like, can we just stop this already? Because it feels like it's very much a dead horse.
Yeah.
But this particular edition in this like 3-year span, they're doing this like, just, it feels like a final concert tour where they're like re-releasing all of the old kits in these big boxes.
2 times ago.
You thought that already?
like this. Yeah, I think. Well, I remember this whole. I think most of the sales behind this product that I've witnessed is people purely buying it for the minis.
Yeah,
and
it's been like that for a while.
And that's one thing Games Workshop can continue to rely on, is if they make a really cool model in a kit, someone will buy it.
I would say that their current way of packaging it though kind of almost works against them then, because like if they're doing these like bundles of 4 teams for like $100 and something bucks, like it becomes harder as a consumer to be like, oh, I just want those ones.
I know. I wish they took these models and put them in just another game. I don't know. I feel like, as cool as the game is, and I really do love the game. We played it a lot when it was a new hot thing, and there was a big push. I was like, this could be a good concept.
It's very fun. I actually don't understand why it's not a thing.
Yeah.
It when you actually, if you could describe it to someone who, wasn't a war gamer, or like is like a light war gamer, and you'll be like, yeah, this is a game that basically like you could enjoy it if you like painting minis, you can enjoy it if you like board games, you can enjoy it if you like card games. It's not a big ask. Like you can play on a kitchen table with some buddies. It's very casual. You can play it very competitively or very casually. it's you'd think like, oh my god, it checks like every box that you could possibly make. So why does nobody play it?
I think a lot of its early fire was this was the price. Like it was so cheap that it was like you could just throw it at people.
Yeah.
And Games Workshop has a history of like having products that are in this like extreme value range. I know people are like, "What are you talking about?" So we're talking Black Reach and Skull Pass.
Oh my gosh, yeah. For those of you that weren't around, for what 2008 or whatever,
Yeah.
A $60 Canadian starter kit with like
and then even when it went up to 75 or 80, it still had it was equivalent to the current whatever middle tier box,
like the starter set or whatever it's called.
Yeah, where it's 130 now or whatever. So so that's a thing that I think when Underworlds was $70 and you got the board in 2 teams and then teams were $30 afterwards.
Yeah.
It was easy and it was easy to onboard people and get them to actually try and play this game. I think now people come by and they're like, this is 120 or 35 now, whatever Emberguard was, $132. I know they're looking at it as like, well, it's a polished board game and it's got beautiful minis in it. It should be over $100. Like I get it, but I think
they should have looked at Emberguard as the beginning again, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like the first time they released Shadespire, like that's where they kind of were with Emberguard. You have no player base,
right? Yeah.
Nobody's really playing it right now. You kind of needed to go back to that again, make it cheaper.
Especially like I wonder if they themselves were like, well, the idea here was to like break into card stores or something and like have this. Although there's an irony I'm going to get to in a second, or a coincidence maybe, that they were like, well, the card players will like it because it used to have really like a card game, like a TCG, where you went and had to buy kits to find cards and stuff, or a living card game, I guess it is.
Yeah.
To build your competitive deck and smash people with, and at that time between the price point and the crunchiness of the game, it did sort of work. But at some point, they just kind of were like, we're not doing this anymore. I don't know what happened. If they were like, actually, we don't want to invest in the card development because that's like significant to keep up like...
They didn't have a plan at the beginning for like the bloat of like that. So that expectation it's like people that played X-Wing can relate to this, or people that have played new card games can relate to this probably as well, where when you don't have a format established from the beginning, and you get into like the third set... No, so I forget what the second one was called. Night Veil.
Something like that.
I don't know. And you get into the third set. Now you have like something like 24 crews that all have unique individual universal cards inside all the packs and stuff like that. And so a new player coming in to start for the first time is like, oh, I need that rebound card. I need this card. And so I got to go buy all these sets. So the ask, so it no longer became this like cheap game for a new player, because they had to buy it all at once or whatever to kind of like compete or play.
Yeah.
So
but then you do a format or rotation, and then the existing player gets mad because he's like, well, I went and eBayed this card. I can't use it anymore. You guys banned it.
That happens, and there is like. I actually feel for them because I feel like there's like almost it feels a bit lose-lose, like because we know historically as well that what they're doing right now also doesn't work very well because with card games, like people actually like the collectability is something that makes people buy things.
Yeah.
So we see all of these like they're called living card games instead of collectible card games or CCGs. I'm trying to think of some examples. Like there was like a Lord of the Rings one. There was like. What was Netrunner was like one of the most famous ones, and the idea being that there's no scarcity really. Like as long as the game's still available, like you can buy everything as long as it's infinite printed, right?
It's supposed to be, anyway. But they don't actually do that.
So there's no like rarity or collectability to it, but you do still have to like collect it, and once you have it, kind of thing. But those games actually never last. I don't know any that like. Compared to a collectible card game that has like, the kind of gambling kind of thing going for it, there's something about that keeps those games alive.
Sure, there's a chase.
There's that, you know what I mean? Like they have that element to it that the other games don't.
I almost wonder because this is something that they do. have had a lot of success with, but don't
Yeah.
harness it nearly enough, is the blind buy. Is like, wouldn't this work perfectly? Wouldn't it? I know people are gonna roll their eyes, but wouldn't you want to have a blind buy Underworlds heroes and like where you collect
Okay,
these guys?
forget about Underworlds. Okay, why
No,
are we
no.
not doing 40k guys?
Okay, well, obviously,
it has to
I
be
mean, they
40.
did that already, but
Has to be
but
40K.
so let's say you had
Yeah.
blind buy. Okay, first of all, new Underworlds is 40k theme. Let's
Yeah,
start there.
get rid of the Underworlds name. Let's
Now
get
no, it's Underhive. We're Underhive.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
And
we got a name.
it's whatever. It's got blind buy, like single figure, unique figures.
Whew.
There's one to a box, and they include a random card that you
Oh
can
my!
add to your
It's a double blind buy.
double blind. But yeah,
Holy
yeah,
cow.
yeah. And none of this like, oh, if there's a series of 12 and we know one of these has the mythic in it. No, it's got to be like a series of 150 or whatever. It's got to catch 'em all Pokemon with you want that busted foil card that, it's a rebound but it works on a 4+ or something.
We're gonna be selling singles in the store of these
Yes.
characters. Instead.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
This
wild.
is where they
No, I actually,
you know.
as much as like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh my god, like if you have never like dipped your toes into like the Pokemon or the Magic the Gathering world, you won't really understand necessarily like how those kind of economies operate or whatever. But like this is a big part of it, right? It's that. And it's like they tried to do the card thing without the card thing.
Yep.
Like really going all the way. That would be fascinating to see them do something like that.
Yeah. There are people that'd be fighting in Costco's over this.
It probably would blow up pretty crazy. Like it would probably get pretty nuts.
It would be actually, it would be ridiculous.
Like adding the scarcity element to models.
You would
is like,
quickly have $500 Space Marine captains with their accompanying card.
you open a guy and it's like foiled plastic or
Oh, the model's
The
foiled.
model's foiled.
No. The thing is, the model is like is the part that like most of those like collectors wouldn't care about, but
Right.
you would need it to play the game. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Star Wars Destiny thing, where you need the card and the dice to have the full value there. So you
Right.
need both because you need the model in the game.
Right.
So yeah, man, you got that special captain and his. Actually, you could probably sell both individually. As well, now that I think about it, because you have someone who just wants the card and someone.
They really should bring us in as special advisors on this
Yeah.
stuff. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're really missing
It
out
would
there.
be now. I appreciate it would be a bit of a nightmare from a production, because usually like the way like the things like Magic and stuff are printed is like it's at huge volumes. The printer and the sequencing have to be like
They have algorithmic
for
that
and
stuff, yeah.
done in a so you'd have to also like carefully print the sheets and pair them with the models correctly and pack them and then have do the distribution in a proper way so it doesn't get leaks or opened up, and because this can get pretty nuts actually. People go nuts over this. They'll be like lining up to try and come in and scoop it up, and retailers they'll have to be like really special like rules of engagement and a play networks. Like it can get nuts fast. So I don't think GW wants to do that. I just want to make
if
minis.
they hate money, I guess they should
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Like I don't know. Like it seems like I actually just like, as on another aside, like for a company that's getting bigger and bigger every year, right? And
Yeah,
is growing
it's
into
gonna
like,
happen.
is growing into this like brand company.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be stunned and shocked if
No.
these are the types of things they move into at some point, because like they're just big enough to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like why not? Like this is the kind of thing. Here in Canada we have Electronics Boutique or whatever it's called, GameSpot. What the hell? They're changing the name back. Anyways, the video game shops, like, it's the kind of thing you can just imagine on the shelf with the Warhammer tag on it, right? Where like, oh, you get your blind buy Underhive models or something like that,
Yep.
And it lets them do all this like crazy stuff. They can make any characters they want out of video games and movies and stuff that they do. I don't know. I think we might be onto something there. That might be something that comes in the future. Something like
I
that.
mean, maybe our tradition of saying things and then them happening might continue.
So maybe there's an article right now as we're
I
posting
doubt
this
it,
video.
but
Just
This is too good of an idea. No, but overall, it's just another year, another fall, another Underworlds release. That
well, I mean, for like, how did you feel about stocking some more Underworld stuff?
we tried last year.
Yeah, we actually gave it a try.
We brought in. We legitimately tried with some Ember Guards and some of those things, and they did not sell.
No,
Like,
unfortunately
we
not.
sold like a couple.
Yeah.
And the overall, and even then, even the kits themselves, actually find that the Warcry kits sell a little better because they're full units usually. They're not these like 2 or 3 man at a time or these weird units.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my overall issue there is they have an extreme like we just like talk about in general like small whatever their skirmish offerings, the non big games. That there is a winning formula. It's called Kill Team, and it's full squads of units with brand new sculpts like Nemesis Kill Teams, Nemesis Claws, and Krieg guys.
That was a good question. Do you think Kill Team? Do you think the rise of Kill Team like ate its lunch basically? Because it kind of
it's eaten. Yeah,
it kind of fills in what it was trying to do.
I just think like when you look at what you're buying in a box, it's usually like something that that you've been waiting for, or a redo, or a brand new kit, and the extra money's paying for some like the extra rules and tokens to play them in another. But you're getting this thing that you will use in both games, and is exciting from that perspective.
Is that because it says Warhammer 40,000 on the box?
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. It's massive. And we see that a bit with Warcry as well. Once they started doing like some new units in there, but even then, they still do some weird things in there as well. Like you have some war bands that aren't just 10 of or 5 or 10 of a thing. It's got like a little dog and a random. I think of I think the Bone Reaper ones have like some weird constructs and as well some Mortrick Guard or something. Like it's. I want to see. That they need to do more of those packages. Like here's like the cities. The Huntsman was a good idea. The Ogres had a kit like the Gorgers.
The Gorgers, yeah.
Those do well. Like that, they have a formula.
Yeah, because they also fill. They're sneaky because they also fill in, like you said, with Kill Team does this as well. Like they fill in a need in the army in Age of Sigmar as well.
Yeah.
Like here's your plastic Gorgers. We made them a Warcry warband. But you're also going to buy them for your ogre army.
Yeah.
Right. Same with it's like striking scorpions. It's like
correct.
That's cheeky. I'm like
Space Marine Scouts.
It's hard to be like, oh, people are only buying this for Kill Team. It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's also a 40k unit you want. So
Sure.
It's kind of double tapping,
and
right?
yeah, it lets them do like some unique things that don't fit in the regular schedule, and it gives them an out to put something out that isn't. Because normally if they release a new Votann kit, they're going to be like, well, it needs to come with a new book too or something. Like they don't just like willy-nilly them so much. They like to have that as like this is a themed weekend, and they tie together new models, new rules. The Kill Team lets them just like shove out like Krieg guys came out in Kill Team well before, and they were selling great already right away. People were like, I need these. I know that,
Octarius or whatever it was
and
called.
Then they generate type because then later on people are like, oh, you're gonna do a full thing of this. So I'm wondering if like something like with the Night Lords was brewing because of like they're gonna have a suck in Kill Team. Or they just looked at the spreadsheet and said, we sold how many of these?
They had a fully animated video to support that Krieg release, remember?
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty good.
I don't remember that happening for Underworlds.
They did that for Skaven Tide, too.
Hey, we sold a lot of Skaven Tides.
We sold,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, sure. He's like, I don't believe you almost did.
No, we did.
So how much of Underworlds, crash in popularity too so obviously the Kill Team like basically being like the same size game, give or take, occupying the same kind of space, like you said, it's the kind of thing that you'd see at a card shop because it's small, it's easy to sell, it's like a good introductory to wargaming. It's kind of eating the lunch there. How much do you think also it's maybe to do with like the AOS's like popularity like faltering a little bit in the last year or two? Like
help, yeah.
It hasn't been growing like it was. Like it feels like it's kind of plateaued a bit. Or
it's definitely in a period of it. Yeah, it's definitely in a what would we say a bear market. I don't think it's in any danger.
No, because you can sell when cool stuff comes out, it's still doing well.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
yeah. People obviously
like we said before,
setting.
We had some very nice releases this year, like Vampire Counts, etc. Soul Blight, that is. I think that of course it's tied together. It's already, the game that compared to 40K is a third as large, in terms of like sales, at least here, and but yet it has the same whatever space and attention, like in terms of it's got handbook is like chapter approved, Warcry is like supposed to be like Kill Team, and they have Underworlds. 40K doesn't have an Underworlds, so I guess you could call it maybe Necromunda isn't like the, fills that thing maybe or sort of. So yeah, you're like, wow, for the amount of like stuff you offer to the player, it's just not, it's just not as popular. I think it was, I don't know, obviously they're much better at me creating a 12-month schedule of cool stuff to release that will meet their goals, because they've been doing that just fine. But I think I would have much rather that like this time slot, because it seems to be pretty cyclical. Would have been better served with just like anything else, like just even another brand new random thing. It's a little stagnant. I feel like their cycle has gotten a little bit locked in because it's been working, I guess, for some of their properties. That it like, I don't know. I know it's all written in advance. Like, again, this release was put in the schedule like years ago. So I'm hoping that we're going to get to the end of this at some point, that someone is looking at the things and saying, okay, we could put something better in this slot. Because for a store, again, going back to the beginning...
You don't like the 1-2 punch of an Old World and Shadespire weekend or whatever? Is that what you're saying right now? Get ready for an apology video. Cause...
Yeah. No, again, purely as greedy shop owners.
Yeah.
Who are trying to make a dollar. This type of upcoming Saturday is unfortunately it leaves you, like you're like, well, this is going to be a flat. You're going to be like, well, we'll be okay, but you're not really jazzed about it. I mean, at the very least, it will maybe give us. I suppose the silver lining is it'll free up some cash for like maybe bulking up some stock for Christmas or something,
sure.
And things like that. But yeah, it's not after some of the cool stuff we've seen in the last like month or two. I'm not terribly excited. So this is where I personally, this is like the craziest take. I would much rather see like a Dreadfleet sequel or something than this comeback. For another.
Oh yeah, try something new. Try
That's what I'm
something new.
saying.
Yeah,
like, just let's.
I never thought we'd get to this point.
And maybe if you give it like some time,
yeah,
and then come back a few years later, like I would say, kind of the final thought here is like I think AOS as a whole kind of needs this, which is painful because they did a book wipe.
Oh, don't say it again.
In third edition.
They did, yeah.
Yes, they did.
Fourth
edition.
Yeah.
No, it was third.
We're in fourth right now. Right?
We are in fourth.
Yeah,
but third was the big overhaul.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
They also book wipe fourth edition too.
They? I think you're right.
There's a lot of book wipes happening, man.
I know you're
Dude,
right. There was
so much
they
book
did book
wipes
wipe
happening.
Fourth. So they would have to book wipe again. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, they don't need a book wipe. They don't.
Are you sure?
They need to rethink. They just need to rethink the how you win the game, which is scenarios and
Sure.
and scoring, and I think that's the biggest problem with the game is I think a lot of people want to play it as something other than 40K that is not as. I think, as we discussed before, it was at its best when it was a simpler game to resolve.
It was, to me, felt like the classic chess.
Like they got away from their own mantra, that Penta, which is simple but not easy. Or
like it's like when I always talk about chess. I'm like, it's easy to teach somebody how to play chess, but obviously you could spend your whole life learning how to play chess, right? Yeah. I think they kind of flipped it on its head, where they're like, they started with like the game system is actually quite complicated now. To teach somebody if you want to play with all the modules or whatever, which is how most people play. And it's funny because like they have Spearhead just sitting there being like, I'm great. I'm so great.
Because
I'm a great product.
Because that's such clean scoring.
Yeah, I'm like, just make that the game. Like blow it up, make Spearhead Age of Sigmar, and you've got a winning product in my opinion. But well, I don't know. We'll see. This somehow turned into an anti-Age of Sigmar video.
The old worlders are like, yes,
bring them down.
Go. Don't say I don't do nothing for you.
Jay throws you one every once in a while. I was gonna end this on like, I can't believe I would rather have a Blood Bowl release than a Underworlds release.
Absolutely.
Blood Bowl actually moves kits.
I can't believe we talked about Underworlds for 25 minutes.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. If you stayed to the end, you're a legend, as always. Check out our Patreon, where you can ask us more specific questions and give suggestions to future videos. Thanks for watching. We'll see you. Bye.